everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I am finally sitting down and filming again. I just quickly wanted to point out the obvious, and that is the fact that I'm back in my bedroom. Most of you may know that I do have a beauty room, but we do currently have a guest staying over at the moment, and he's obviously occupying that room because it is set up as like our spare room as well. So my next couple of videos will be in my bedroom, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just thought I'd let you guys know. Also, I have actually already filmed this video once, but I went to edit it and I don't know, I just didn't like the filming of it, so I decided to do it again because I really was happy with the way that the makeup turned out. So hopefully I can recreate it and do it just as good this time, if not better. But yeah, let's just get straight into the video. I really hope you like it, and if you do, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let's go. So first of all, I just want to show you the photo that I was inspired by. It's really cool. It is this one here. So it's just like a deer that's got a bullet hole in her head. So pretty simple, but as you can see, quite effective as well. And it's also a good makeup look, because if you're not wanting to go with the gory sort of bullet hole side of things, you don't have to. You can just do it all the way up to just the deer and then leave out the bullet hole. But then obviously if you want to be more Halloween and more gory, then obviously add the bullet hole. So yeah, I really like this makeup look. Also, to start off with, I've already got my eyebrows done and I have put foundation on already, just because that's pretty self-explanatory. I didn't think I had to show you guys that. So first of all, I'm going to start off with concealer. So in the photo that I'm going off, the inside of her face is quite light. So I'm just taking my lightest concealer, which is the LA Girl Pro Conceal. And this is in the shade Porcelain. And I'm just going to take that down the center of my face. So under my eyes, down my nose, and on my chin and my forehead. And then just blending that out with a beauty blender. Alright, so now that the inside of our face is all concealed and is looking nice and light, we're just going to set that. You can just set it with any sort of powder, translucent powder would do. But I'm going to take the banana shade and the lighter shade out of the AC onto a palette, just so that it stays nice and light. And then just going in to set the rest of the face, I'm just using my Australis Fresh and Flawless that I always use. So just take any face powder just to set the rest of your face. Try not to get too much on the inside of your face. As I said, you do want to keep it quite light. So now moving on to the bronzer. As you can see in the photo, she is quite bronzed all the way around her face. We are trying to transition to being a deer, so of course you want your cheekbones and your forehead to be quite chiseled out, just to give that sort of deer shape to your face, I guess. So yeah, I'm just taking the AC onto a palette again, and I'm just using the like the most bronzy shade out of the three. So I'm just taking that and we're going cheekbones and forehead, and just do it how you would usually do it when you do your makeup, but accentuate it a little bit more. So blow it out a little bit more, make it a lot darker, and also bring it down quite further on the forehead and on the cheeks as well. Alright, so now that we are super duper bronzed up, we're going to move on to the nose contour. So I'm just going to use the exact same bronzer that I just used. So just that one just there. I'm just going to take that on a little brush like this. And yeah, I'm just going to take that and just carve out from about where my eyebrow is in a little bit further, and then straight down my nose. Alright, so now that the lighter colour bronzer is on, don't be scared to blow it out a little bit, because that is just going to act as the shadow to the actual nose. Now I'm going to take a smaller brush and the darker shade here and draw in the nose again, but not blending it out too far and trying to keep it a finer line. So now that the nose is pretty much done for now, we're going to move on to the eyeshadow, which is very, very simple. Just taking like a brownish sort of transition shade and just sweeping that straight through the crease. And just making sure it's nice and blended out. Alright, and then just to deepen up a tiny little bit more, I'm just taking Cocoa Bear by Makeup Geek and then also sweeping that through my crease as well. Alright, so that is it for the eyeshadow. Nothing more, nothing less. Now we're just going to move on to some eyeliner. So all we're going to do on the top lash line is just quite a thin line halfway and then a little bit thicker towards the end. We don't want to do any ticks or anything fancy like that. We just want to make the lash line a little bit darker. Cool. And then for the bottom lash line, we do want to make our eyes appear a little bit bigger. So for the bottom lash line, I'm just taking a brown pencil liner and lining just underneath my lash line and bringing it in a tiny little bit on the inner corner. You'll see what I mean when I do it, but yeah, just keeping the eyes nice and big. You can use your liquid liner for this, but when I did the makeup last time it just didn't really work out for me, so I'm going to try pencil today and hopefully this works out a bit better. I also am using like a dark brown instead of black, just because I feel like the black was a little bit too harsh. So just taking this right under your lash line. And then on the inside, you are going to flick it down a tiny little bit. So it looks like that. And then just doing the same on the other eye. And then connecting that line to the top liner that we did on our lash line. Now for eyelashes, I'm just going to coat them with some mascara. This one's just the False Lashes Mascara by Essence. You can go ahead now and put on false lashes if you would like to, but I'm not going to do that today just because I don't feel like putting false lashes on. But yeah, just go in and put your mascara and false lashes on if you would like to. The last step that we're doing for our eyes is just adding in a white liner to our waterline, just to open up our eyes a little bit more. And then I'm also bringing a little bit of white down into that little triangle that we made to elongate our eye. So now moving on to the white dots. You can use anything to do this if you would like to. You can use like a white eyeshadow if you want. I'm just going to use paint today just because I want it to be quite vibrant, and I feel like I don't have a white that's going to show up enough, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just going to use some white paint, and this is just like face and body paint that you can literally get from anywhere. And I'm just going to use a cotton tip with it. In my other video when I first did the makeup, I did actually try using a brush and it just did not work out for me whatsoever, and then I figured out that this is working a lot better because you can get the circles a bit more even with this. So yeah, I would recommend using this if you're going to use some face paint. So all I'm doing pretty much is just taking my face paint on my Q-tip or my cotton bud or whatever you call them. So just taking a little bit of paint on there and then literally just drawing dots on your face. I do want to keep mine a little bit symmetric, so I'm going to do one on this side, one on this side, and then keep going back and forth just like that. Just making them some big, some small, some a bit lighter and some a little bit more opaque. So yeah, just go ahead and do as many as you want, pretty much just following where we bronzed before, so on the forehead and down the cheekbones. Alright, so my camera decided to die. So while it was charging, I pretty much just finished off the white dots, and I just added a couple to my neck as well, just to sort of tie it all in a little bit more. Next, we are going to finish off the nose. So to do the nose, I'm just going to use some black paint. So it's just same face and body paint that you can get from anywhere. And I'm just going to take that on a little brush, just like this. And yeah, I'm just going to draw out the nose. So right, so I'm just going to leave the nose for now. It is a little bit crooked, but I feel like if I keep trying to fix it, it's just going to end up like this big on my face. So now I'm just drawing a straight line down the center from like my nose to my lip. And then just using the same black paint, you can use a black lipstick or, as I said, a liner if you would like to, but I'm just going to use a black paint and just filling in my top lip. Okay, so now that the top lip is filled in, try and let it dry if you're using paint before you completely close your lips, just in case it transfers, because you don't want it to transfer, because you want the you want the bottom lip to stay skin color. Alright, so if you weren't interested in doing the gory part of this look, then pretty much this is the complete look for you. And if you are interested in doing the bullet hole and making your look a little bit more gory, keep on watching. So I'm sure there's lots of different ways that you can do the bullet hole, but for today this is how I'm going to do it. So you're just taking a piece of tissue and then you're just going to rip like about a 3 centimeter strip off of it. You can cut it if you can't rip in a straight line, because I can't rip in a straight line, but it doesn't really matter if it's not a straight line or not. But just try and keep it about 3 centimeters thick the whole way down. And then pretty much all you're going to do with this is just roll it into like a little noodle. And then just breaking off the end and just making that as tight as possible, just so it doesn't come undone. So this is what we've got now, just a little ropey sort of noodly looking thing. And then you're just going to measure out how big you want your bullet hole to be. So I'm thinking about that big for me, and then just pulling off the end. So to stick this down, all I'm using is liquid latex. This one's just by Mayron, but I'm sure you can get all different ones from anywhere. If you don't have liquid latex, I think it'll be easy just to use eyelash glue as well. But this is what I'm going to use for today. So you can put your bullet hole obviously anywhere that you want to put it, but I am going to put it right here because I have a pimple there, and let's cover it. What better way to cover a pimple than put a bullet hole over the top of it, I reckon. So just painting a circle around the spot that you want it. Don't worry if you make the circle too big for your tissue, because it is liquid latex, so it does dry clear. Just putting a decent coat on there to make sure that it sticks for as long as possible. And then just let that dry like a tiny little bit, and while that's drying, we're just going to stick our little tissue together. So just putting a little bit of liquid latex, or if you're using eyelash glue on the end of that, and just sticking them together. Just like that. and then literally just popping that straight onto your head. Just like that. And then I'm going to go over that with some liquid latex as well, just to ensure that it will stick very, very well and won't move, especially if you're going to be wearing this like out to a party or trick-or-treating or anything like that. You obviously want to make sure that it stays down for as long as possible. So the more glue or latex that you use, obviously the longer it will stay on. And then we'll have to wait for a couple of minutes just to let that one dry. Right, so now that that's pretty much dry, I'm just taking some foundation, which is just the one that I used on my face. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and then just a little sort of concealer brush, just taking that over the top of our tissue, just to obviously make it look more like skin and not like a white blob stuck to our head. So just going over the top of that. Don't worry too much if it still looks a little bit light, because we are going to go over with red and purple sort of eyeshadow to make it look more bruised. So if you can't quite get the exact colour of your skin, don't worry too much. And then I'm just setting that with my Fresh and Flawless powder as well, just so then when we put over the eyeshadows, they just sort of blend out a little bit better. So we're slowly getting there. Next step is just to make it look a little bit more bruised. So I'm just taking my Modern Renaissance eyeshadow, just because this is what's in front of me and it has the deepest red that I own in it. So I'm just taking this one here, which is red ochre. So it's literally just a red eyeshadow, and I'm just taking that on an eyeshadow brush or on any sort of brush and just taking that around the outsides of the wound. So and then I am dragging a little bit down this way, because this is where I want the blood to fall. And then for the inside, I'm just going to take this red lipstick, which is by NYX. It's just like a liquid lipstick. It's just the first one that I picked up out of my drawer. So just take any lipstick, or you can take a red paint if you would like to, and then just filling in the inside of the bullet hole with that. And then just the last little bit to obviously make it look a little bit more real, we're taking some fake blood. This one's just Stage Blood by Mayron as well. I'm sure you can buy different paints from a lot of different places at different prices, but this is just the one that I have and the one that I'm using for now. So all we're doing is just taking that and blobbing it on the inside of the wound, and then you're just going to let it drip over the edge and sort of drip down your face a little bit, or a lot of it. So I want mine to go down the side of my nose, so I'm just going to tilt my head a little bit and let it drip down naturally like that, and then just dragging it down with my brush and bringing it all the way down to my nose, and then just making the bullet hole a little bit more bloody. And then that is our bullet hole all done. So this is a finished makeup look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed filming for you guys. I have just fallen in love with this makeup look. I just love how it's quite versatile, still looking quite pretty and quite cute, but by adding the bullet hole in, definitely makes it a little bit more gory and a little bit more Halloween like. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, just let me know in the comments down below if there's anything that you want to see next, because I do want to film a little bit more Halloween looks over the next 2 weeks. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.